Okay, let's go ahead and get started on our sky. We're going to do a mountain painting today. This is wet on wet. And we're going to start with our pink. I always like to start with the pink sky. I'm using a 1-inch brush right now. And I will mix it all up here in just a few minutes with the 2-inch brush. In case you don't know what wet on wet is, it's something you put on the canvas to make it slick, and you have all the colors that blend together. It helps blend the colors together, not, better than what you would do without it. But that's what liquid white, I call it liquid white. It's also called liquid clear. I use it all the time in my sky, and on mountain paintings I'll use it over the whole canvas sometimes, like today. It just helps your colors blend, that's all. In case you don't know, and some people don't, I didn't realize, I should have known that, but until someone made a comment to me, said, "What is liquid white?" And I thought, uh-oh, maybe I better start telling. I just took it for granted, you know how it is. Just took it for granted everybody knew, but okay, let's go ahead and let's throw some phthalo blue in. This is typically how I start my mountain paintings. I like this particular style right here with the pink sky, and it just looks good, man. I mean, I hate to repeat it and do it all the time, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. Now, I do change on occasion. Just here recently, I haven't. I've been doing the pink sky, bringing the edges down quite a bit, throwing a little bit here and there. See, our mountains are going to be in this area somewhere, and this gives it a nice effect. Let's take some Prussian blue, and I'm going to darken these corners up real good. Across the top. It brings your eyes to the center of the painting. When you make the edges and the corners dark. Oh, let's just put a little bit more up in here, just a little bit on the edge. Okay, let me get me a 2-inch brush and let's see if we can't feather this out a little bit. Make sure it's clean. It looks clean. We're going to do crisscross strokes just like this. These seem to work the best when you're wanting to feather something out. And I'm going to stay out of this blue for as long as I can, particularly the dark blue, which is the Prussian blue. So once you get in there, you can't come back. Once you get into the blues, you can't bring it back over. So I'm just going to feather it as much as I can. Continuously wiping my brush off. And I'm going to get this lighter blue before I get into that real dark Prussian blue. At least I'm going to try. Let's see. Well, I'm going to have to get into it eventually anyway. Let's just go ahead. But I got my paper towels here in front of me. I'm continuously wiping it. Wiping my brush. See how this is feathering out? This is what I'm after. This is what I like. See how much I'm wiping off? That don't look too bad. See, our mountains are going to be in here, so I may leave that. Stand back and look. All right, let's get our knives out. Let's get ready to do, hopefully, the fun stuff. We're going to have a small, here's what I got. This is black, Prussian blue, and brown, and a touch of white. I took some out of this pile, put it in this pile, added more white. This is for a distant mountain. This is for a closer up mountain. And I have my toppings for the mountains here, which is just brown and white. We are going to start, let me think here a minute. I'm kind of winging this. Let's start right in here. This will be kind of our distant mountain here. We're just going to form it up, make it up as we're going along. Scrape your excess paint off for sure. That may be good enough for that. Let me get me a brush. This one is what we was just using. It may be too dark. It's probably okay. We're just going to pull it out. This is what you call pulling out the mountain. Blend it up as we're going along. I don't know how far down I need to bring it quite yet, so I'm going to bring it down as far as I think I might need it, which I would think this is far enough. The less paint you have on here, the better. Oil paint is kind of your enemy, so to speak. When you put too much on here, man, you just can't deal with it hardly. It just gets real wet. So that's probably okay. Now let's go over to our bigger mountain, and I'm going to use the darker color. I think I might make a smaller mountain or two in front of this one. I might just go ahead and do that. Just something smaller. It can be pointed. I always make pointed mountains. I'm not sure why, but even when I try not to, they wind up pointed. I guess they're more dramatic. I don't know. In my mind, my hand just won't stop. It just keeps making big pointed mountains. And we're just forming the top. The top is really what you have to be concerned with. I'm not sure what kind of shape this is, but I'm doing it, ain't I? Making a crazy shape. Well, it's different. Can't say it ain't different, because it is. Different can be good. Trying to rake some of this off. Let's put some of it down in here. Okay, let's pull that mountain out. Let's see what we've done. If we don't like it, we'll change it before we go any further. Because this is the time to change it. I don't know about this one, this area here. We'll see. It might be okay. I might leave it and see what happens. I'm just pulling this out and trying to get some of this color, excess paint off, I mean. Okay, let me stand back and take a look. You got to stand back and look at it. I don't know here. Let me take a look. Work on that a little bit. That might be better right there. We're just doing a little adjustment. Yeah, that might be okay right there. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with our furthest away mountain. We're going to use the lighter color. This is a little lighter than this. This is what we're going to start doing. Barely touch it. Have you a clean spot on your paper towels. I'm going to go ahead and start here on this side. And we're just going to put it in, put our mountain in. And when I say barely touch it, and I've said this before, I'm not exaggerating. I mean, I'm barely touching this. That's really one of the big secrets to doing mountain paintings, especially if they're wet on wet like this one and the canvas is fairly wet. Secret is, man, barely touch it. Okay, let's go to the darker color, and I hope I made enough. This is just a little darker. Got to keep wiping your knife off because you're going to pick up things you don't want. There went one of my knives in the floor. I do that all the time. It's okay. It's okay. No big deal. Let me make my paper towels, pull them out a little bit more. Got to have your paper towels handy. That's probably enough for that, because I don't know how far to bring it down quite yet. Let's go ahead and do this. I do these edges first because they're harder to do because you kind of got to hold steady. I think that's probably okay for now on that one. Yeah, these edges are tough sometimes. Make you concentrate pretty hard. Make you concentrate. Okay, we'll just leave that right there for the moment. Let me look here a minute what I'm planning on doing here. Okay, I think I got it. You got to think a little bit sometimes on these. You got to have a somewhat of a plan. I'm going to curl this around, I believe. You kind of have to visualize it in your mind. Okay, I think that's good. As far as my mind is telling me. I got a little smudge right there I'm going to have to fix here in a minute. I must have hit that with my finger. Okay, I think it might be okay right there. Okay, I'm going to take some of this. This was my mountain color. I'm going to add some white into that. Let's see what we can come up with for a shadow. It's supposed to be a little lighter. Let's see if you can see it though, that's the issue. Yeah, maybe you can see it. I think you can see it. I'll get back at the camera here in a little bit and take a look and make sure you can. But I think you can see this. Okay. Now, let's just try this color out. This is the same color. This was what we used originally on our back mount. Let's just see. Let's do a test. Well, that don't look bad. Yeah, okay. I might have to get my small knife for a few of these areas. This is pretty dark. Now that I'm looking at it, let me just I'm gonna take this pile and just mix it in. It didn't look that dark to start with. Now it's looking kind of dark. Okay, that looks better. Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks better there. I don't know why I'm talking so low. I think I'm holding my breath or something. Sometimes I catch myself doing that on something that's kind of technical. Not that this is super technical, but yeah, I'll work on these colors here in a minute. I think that needs a little more color in it right there. I'll add a touch more white. I'm just mixing this pile, just put a little bit more white in here. I'm gonna have to break out my little knife just any moment. Because I'm having trouble hitting a few of these areas. I'm barely touching it, folks. Kid you not, this is going to be darker down in here. Okay, well, let me go ahead. I got to bend down and get my knife. Yep, it hit the floor, didn't it? Okay, let's go ahead and finish up some of these areas that I didn't a second ago. This is a little dark. Okay, let's try this. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's look for straight lines. Let's get rid of some of them. I'm going to use the same color here. Like this line here is a little straight. We'll just throw some stuff there. That's a little straight. You don't want straight lines, so we'll do that. I think we can work with this here in a minute. Let me take some dark color. This is my original mountain color for the front mountain. I'm mixing it up. I want a darker color. Okay, that's darker. Let me take a look a little bit here. I got to blend it a little bit here. Switch knives again. I like the bigger knife better. Okay, let's go ahead and put some white, pure white. I like doing this because I think it looks good. Let's put a little bit of white. Just touch it. Just touch it's all. Make sure your knife is clean. It may look clean, but it's probably not. That's all we want. See, just something like that. Just something. Something to add another color. That's it. That's all we want. Just something, just a variety of colors. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do down here. It's only been a few minutes, but I'm still thinking. I am going to have a little water here. That's really all I know. I think I might have a piece of land here. That's what that is. I'm going to throw some pink in down here because the sky's pink. Just put some flavor in the water. Time it's all said and done, you may not even be able to see this pink, but it's there anyway. I'm just going to use this same mountain color and just throw this in. Throw some over here because I'm not sure about this side yet. Make it a little darker toward the bottom. Wipe some of this off my brush so I don't get rid of all my pink. Actually, I'll grab a little bit more on my brush. It might help. Yeah, that's probably enough. Probably enough for now. Let me get me a dirtier brush. Gotta save that one. I think this one's dirtier. Not too bad. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in. I'm just gonna use my mountain color that I used for this. You just need something dark here. Just gotta have a dark color, and that way we don't waste it. Let's see, let's bring it something like that. I don't know, we're just figuring out. I do got to have something here. Let's take some black, some sap green. Oh, let's start. I'm just going to go ahead and do put enough in for the reflections and the actual tree part. Black, sap green. Let's go ahead and come on across. Black, sap green. I'll probably have to have a small pine tree or two right in this area. Let's make these different sizes. These are kind of looking the same. You don't want that. You don't want things looking uniform, so to speak. I may just go ahead and throw some here, because I don't know what we got yet on this end of it. I'll probably have a pine tree there to cover up this edge. Okay, let me put a little bit of yellow, cad yellow light on these trees just to give it some color. We can start anywhere we want. Tear me off the paper towel. Cad yellow light. This is just giving it some color. Sun is coming down this way because you can tell by the mountains. All right. I'll go ahead and throw some on this. As I said, you just got to figure things out as you're moving along. Okay, that's probably okay. Thank goodness. This is not the softest brush, but it might work. Let me get my paper towels in my hand so we can wipe it off as we're going along. We're going to pull the reflections. We just got to decide where they need to be. We'll just start anywhere, I guess. Just keep wiping it off. Yeah, this brush is not soft. I like to use a soft brush, but I got a couple I've ordered already. It should be here hopefully within a couple days. Because you want soft brushes for this. See, that's not soft at all. But that's just going to have to work. That's all I got. Yeah, I like them a little. I like my reflections a little softer than that. But that's what we got. We have to work with it. See if we can get us a little water line. All right, let's go ahead and put our grass in. I'm going to start with cad yellow light. Yeah, we'll start right here. This is going to get kind of, it's going to blend with these trees here, and that's okay. It don't make no difference. Actually, it might look better that way. Make it more of a dirty collar. Not that I want a dirty collar in here, but we're just going to do that. Let's see here. I think I'm going to make this separate from that. So I've got to make this lighter right here. Okay, let's jump over to the other side. This one definitely is getting more light because of the way that the sun is coming down. Okay, we're going to switch over to some ochre. Do some ochre in it. Let's go ahead and get some green. Oh, yeah. Put some green in here. Like I said, this is really wet. I actually wiped this off also, but it gets so wet, it's hard to deal with sometimes. Yeah. I think this is what we're going to go with. I may change my mind. If I don't like it, I will change my mind. I'm looking at it. Got to think about these things here. This is going to need to be darker here and real dark here. I don't know. Let me go ahead, throw some Prussian blue in here because this needs to be darker. This is a very dark color, very strong. Very strong color. Once you get it on your brush, that's about all you can do with it, is use it for blue from that point on. I'll have to re-hit this yellow grass. Like I said, I may not like this. I may redo it. I don't know. There's only one way to find out, and that's just to go ahead and do it. Okay, I have put some pine trees in, put some highlights on them. I got a stump I'm gonna put right here. I just marked it out. And I think I'm gonna put a few red bushes in here. I haven't done that in a while. So, that's the plan. I think I'm gonna put one here. I think this is really, really wet, as you know. I'll just put a kind of a small one there. And I think I'll put one here. Need at least 3. You got to have odd numbers in painting, they say. Gosh, I don't know if I want one there or there. I'm not sure what would look better. It's just, I really don't know. Oh gosh, I'll just put one here. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think that will work right there. Go ahead and make it a little dark underneath to represent a shadow before I even get started. Now, since that's so wet, hopefully we can get something to stick on it. I'm going to try a clean brush. This is a new brush. I don't really know how well it's going to work. I really don't like new brushes sometimes because they don't work as you think they will. They kind of mess up a little bit. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Let's try it again. It might be okay if it wasn't so wet. I mean, it's going on there. This is just an old cheapo. I buy cheap brushes sometimes because they're useful for certain things. I don't like that one too well. Let's try to put a little more on here. Okay, let's see if I can put a little white on here now. I think I got a little blue in this, not on purpose, but well, folks, we're going to call it a wrap. I think it turned out pretty good. I put a fallen log here to match the stump. Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more future videos. And thanks for watching. I appreciate it.